Hey there, internets. Pixel Geek here with our very first sponsored tutorial. Yes, Snipcart was nice enough to sponsor and support our YouTube channel. So this tutorial is all about how to integrate Snipcart into your Webflow project. Now, if you're not familiar with Snipcart, here's their website, snipcart.com, and it is a low-code way to add e-commerce to your project, whether it be on Webflow or any other browser or any other platform. And as long as that platform lets you add custom HTML code to your project, then yeah, you can add e-commerce to it. Now, one of the biggest features that I see of Snipcart over the Webflow native e-commerce feature is this right here. And I think you all will agree. Customer dashboards. So customers can easily create their own account inside of your Webflow project and see their past order history. All right. And plus, on the flip side, for you, you'll be able to see that data, your customers' data, and email them about upcoming deals or send that or download all of their email addresses and put it into like a MailChimp or something like that. And also, there's abandoned carts and payment gateways. Like if you have if you want to do something that's not PayPal or Stripe or Google Pay or Apple Pay, you want to do something different, then yeah, they support all of these as well. Okay, so Authorize.net, Braintree, Molly, Square, and other custom payment gateways. So a lot of cool things happening with Snipcart over Webflow e-commerce. However, there are a few things that Webflow e-commerce can do better than Snipcart at this moment. But right now, Snipcart being heavily focused on multi-platform e-commerce makes sense why they already have all these other features. So let's get right into how to install Snipcart on your Webflow project. All right. So they have a really nice documentation that gets you from zero to selling products really quickly. Okay. So let's go through the installation together. So the first two lines is just stuff that needs to be loaded every time a web page in your Webflow project is accessed by your users. So you would just copy these two lines and this one and put them inside of your Webflow custom code area. So what I mean is you would go to your project, click on custom code, and then put those three lines in there. That easy. Step one, done. All right. Step two is these two lines right here. All right. So this is getting the Snipcart magical JavaScript that makes all the things happen. Okay. And that second line right here, your public API key. This is where the JavaScript, I'm guessing the JavaScript will say, hey, whose account, whose Snipcart account are we referencing? And so that's where your public API key comes into play. And when you sign up for Snipcart, they will give you a public API key. And again, it's public, so it's not really gonna affect anything if I show it to you. But here's mine. It's really long, but yeah, even if you copy and paste it, nothing will happen. All right. So I put those two into the footer code, and step two is done. That's it. So we've enabled Snipcart throughout our whole Webflow project. Okay. So next step is to add our products. Okay. Now we're not going to add products into Snipcart. This is not like Shopify, where you put products into a platform and then on Webflow you reference it. No, you put everything into Webflow. You don't put your products into Snipcart. All right. So let's go into the designer. Let that load. And let's pretend this is my e-commerce page. This is just my website. It's a single item, and this is all I'm selling. All right. So yes, this shirt is coming soon, but I'm not selling it yet. But let's pretend I am, and let's put a simple add to cart button right in this div block. Okay. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to add elements panel, drag in embed, put that in here, and this is where my custom code is going to go. And I can copy that code from here. So I'm going to copy all of this. All right. Go back to Webflow, paste that all in. And now I just have to just replace what's already there. So the item ID, I'm going to call it Pixel Geek Shirt. Okay. The item price, let's say an even $20. And the item URL, I'm just going to leave it as the home page, just because, you know, I only have one item. Let's see, the item description, let's go ahead and replace that with the very first Pixel Geek shirt. And now we need to get the item image, so we need to find the actual address to the image. We'll get that soon, hold on. And then lastly, the actual name. All right, so again, I'll just put Pixel Geek shirt, but without the dashes. So this ID needs dashes, but the item name, it doesn't need dashes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our item image URL. Just save and close. Let's go to my assets panel, and let's go ahead and get this one. So I'm going to click on the cog, and then copy that link, and then go to my double click my HTML embed and replace this with the actual URL that Webflow assigns that image. Save and close. Cool. And let's style this a bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and make this div block flex so that I can center, and there we go. So we have add to cart. All right. But notice how this button doesn't really feel like a button. All right. We need to make it stand out more. So I'm going to double click, and let's go ahead and give this a class of add to cart button. All right. So we want to give it a combo class. Save and close. Now you notice it didn't do anything. It's because I have to go ahead and drag in let's see here. Let's drag in another div block anywhere on the page and start styling this with the same class name, add to cart button. And let's go ahead and style it. Let's say the background is going to be white. And notice how if I'm changing it here, it's also changing down here because they're using the same class name. All right, so let's go ahead and add some padding. Let's add padding on the sides more right there. So this is all up to you. I'm just styling it right now. You can say I'm free style. Oh God, no. All right, so let's go like that, and let's make this bold. Cool. Add to cart, and let's add a hover effect as well, just for good measure. Let's something like that. Did that hover work? Oh, it did. Cool. There we go. So yeah, now I can delete this fake one, and we're good to go. So we have add to cart. Let me publish, and let's check out what happened. Add to cart, and there we go. Oops, that was my test one. There we go. So awesome. It worked, and I could start selling it. That's it. And if I'm a user and I'm like, I want to save my past history, order history, I can click sign in and register for an account. And there you go. Super simple. That's it. Now, you might be thinking, okay, what if I have a lot more than one? What if I have more than one product? That's where the Webflow collection comes in. All right, so let's get into that. All right, so we're back here. And let's take a look again at this. Look at the code. So we need item ID, and item IDs usually have no spaces, and the spaces are replaced with dashes. That looks similar to a slug. So we'll use a slug for that. Item price, we'll use a number field. Item URL, again, that's the slug, but with the collection name as well. Description could be a text field. Item image is an image field inside of Webflow collections, and the item name is the name field. So you would just need to create these fields inside of a Webflow collection, which I already have. So I've created products, a collection named products, and here are the collection fields that I've created. I have name, slug, the price, a short description, a main photo, and variant name one and variant one name and variant one options. I'll get to those in a second. All right. But let's go ahead and save collection, add a new product, and we'll call it Pixel Geek Shirt. Price $20. And let's go ahead and put in the image. Okay. Put an image. There we go. Short description. The very first Pixel Geek Shirt. Create. There we go. Cool. And let's add my mug. So Pixel Geek mug. Price. We'll say it's 10. The very first Pixel Geek mug. Put a photo of it. There we go. And create. There we go. All right, so both of them are created. Now let's go ahead and let's put something below this. Okay, we'll say 64. All right, so now I'm going to add a collection list. So the data will come from the Webflow collection, okay? So let's go ahead and put a collection list right there. And we want to connect this to products. And now you can see my two products are here, the mug and the shirt. So let's go ahead and start styling it. Let's go ahead and let me put a div in here and let's make it a grid. And that way you have two columns right there. And let's go ahead and drag in an image and pull that image from the main photo. Alt text is going to be pulled from the name. There we go. Let's style this a bit. Let's say the width and height are even. And we'll set that to cover. And each of these collection items, they need to move away from each other. There we go. All right, back on the image. And let's give it a rounded corner on the top left, say 20. Cool. And also, let's make this 100% actually. There we go. Cool. So that's what we have so far. Now let's go ahead and add the name of it. So I'm going to drag in a div. And this one's going to have a text This is going to be name. Oh, everything here needs to be to the left. All right, so this right here, the name should be bold, a bit bigger, something like that. And then I'm going to put in I'm going to put in a paragraph that pulls from the short description, has some room below. Let's go ahead and put the price with a text block. And I know I'm going a bit fast, but this is just adding elements to a Webflow collection list. All right, so there's our price. All right, now let's get into the real meat of this, the e-commerce Snipcart part. All right, so let's add to cart button. So I'm going to copy this add to cart button right here, paste it here, and let me change the color. Let's change this class to -2 because I want a second style. All right, so I'm going to save and close. And now that it doesn't have a style, it's okay. I can just drag in a div block anywhere I want. Add to cart button. And then duplicate this and call this add to cart button 2. And start styling this. Let's give it a color of blue with a white. There you go. And let's move this away. All right, something like that. Okay, not too flashy, but it works. Okay, now if I double click into this embed, I've added that 2 for the new style, but I need to replace all of these with what's coming out of the Webflow collection. So I'm going to delete the item ID, and I'm going to pull from the add field, and the item ID is the slug. The price is going to be price. All right. The item URL is going to be the name of the collection. So portfolio/slug. And then the description is going to be short description. So you see how this works, right? Let me delete this URL. So this image is going to be main photo. And lastly, the name is going to be name. So yeah, so all these purple tags is data coming from a Webflow collection. All right. Now, if I save and close, press publish, refresh this page, there we go. We have 2 items. So this is a single non-dynamic Snipcart button, whereas these are dynamic because they're coming from Webflow collections. So if I click on this, add to cart, let me delete this one. There we go. So yeah, I can add more quantity. This is all being powered by Snipcart now. If I go to continue shopping, there we go. All right. If I click on this, super simple. I have e-commerce inside of my Webflow site using Webflow collections. Now, the cool thing about this is you can stay on the Webflow CMS site plan, which is, I think, $20 a month. Whereas you would have to pay for a Webflow e-commerce plan, which is around $42, I think. I have to check. Hold on, let me check. Webflow e-commerce pricing. Let me go here. There we go. Okay, so 29. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, it is 42 a month. So right there, the standard e-commerce is 42 a month. The Snipcart pricing, where is it? Snipcart pricing is 2% of your transactions. All right. So if you sell $100 painting, $100 shirt or something, then $2 costs $2 per shirt, plus a payment gateway fee. So like I know like Stripe does a certain percentage, plus a couple of cents on top of that for each transaction. So yeah, so that's what you're paying through Snipcart. Whereas Webflow, you're paying 42 a month plus the transaction fee. Yeah, in addition to any Stripe or PayPal fee. So that's the difference right there. Okay. All right. Back on to this. Now, the next thing I want to show you is, what if you have different size shirts? What if you have different color mugs? What if you have variants of your products? Well, here's the cool thing about Snipcart on how to add it. You don't have to take up extra CMS. You don't have to take up CMS items. Yeah, you don't have to take up more CMS items just for each variant. What you can do is right here, they give you an example. If you want a variant, they call it custom. Okay. So you can have custom one dash name. So this is the variant name, and then here are the options for the variants. And each variant is just separated by a pipe. All right. So that's it. And if a variant has a extra price on top of it, you can just wrap the price with square brackets. Yeah. And you can do this with Webflow collections. So let me show you how. So in products, in the collection fields, I have variant 1-name and variant 1-options. All right. I know I call it variant here, but the code is actually custom, but it made more sense to me to call it variant. All right. So there we go. I'm going to save collection and go back to my shirt. And so my variant name, I'm going to call it sizes. All right, so we have small, and then pipe, medium, pipe, large, pipe, extra large. All right, and that's it. Save. And actually, I can do a save and publish, right? Oh, no. Okay, save and publish. Let that go, and let me refresh. I'm going to add to cart. Let me delete this one real quick. Delete. Let's refresh. Add to cart. And it didn't work. What happened? Oh, duh. I got ahead of myself. So right here, I need to add that custom one name and custom one option. So I'm going to go here and just copy these two right here. All right. So I'm going to copy these and paste it here. Okay. So I added more stuff. And so the custom one name is going to pull from variant name. And all of my variant options is going to pull from variant options. Save and close, publish, and we're done. Refresh. Let me delete that one. Go back to shopping, add to cart. There we go. We got variants working, just like that. Now, the thing about these variants compared to Webflow e-commerce is that when you change the variant when the user changes the variant in the dropdown, the image doesn't change. So we cannot set a image for different variants. Okay, so if I had a blue shirt, I would have another custom variant name and custom variant options, but the image will not change. All right, so that's something that's really cool inside of Webflow e-commerce, but in Snipcart, it doesn't have that. If you can live without that feature, then again, Snipcart is the way to go. Okay, so that's cool and all. Let's go ahead and do that again with the Pixel Geek mug. So I'm going to go here to my products, go to the mug, variant name, we're going to call it color. And we'll start with orange. We have blue. Let's call it dark blue. And then, what color is my? It's like a teal, right? Ish, cyan. And we'll just say the teal one costs extra, so I'm going to add an extra $2 to it. And then white, black. All right, and now save. And oh, one more thing I want to do with this. I want to make sure that people know that it's $2. So I'm going to say plus $2, and I'll show you why soon. So I wrapped it with parentheses, and the code is going to pick up the square brackets. All right, save, publish. Let's refresh this, delete that one, go back to shopping, add to cart, and there we go. We have my orange, dark, and see how this one says plus $2 in parentheses. If I click on this, that number gets updated. So that's now $12. If I click on another color that doesn't have that extra dollar amount, the $12 becomes 10 again. All right, so that's how you do variants inside of this. And it keeps going. There's even more things to do with this. Again, you can add as many variants as you want. You would just need to say custom to name, custom to options. You can go as far as even adding a gift note. You know, if you need some sort of if you need some sort of text box area, you can just say custom one-name gift note and leave the option variants blank. All right. Or you can do a checkbox and say gift, the name of your checkbox, and then the type would be checkbox. There's so many things you could do with this. It's pretty amazing. All right, so it's a lot of flexibility to your e-commerce experience that you want to give your users. Okay, so now that you've learned how to add products using Snipcart's low-code integrations, now it's time to learn how do you make a button that shows your user's cart. All right, so the only way to see a cart right now is to click on Add to Cart. But what if I don't want to add to cart? You know, I want to just see my cart. So let me delete these two right now. And what we're going to do is add a cart link at the top right, all right, of our nav bar. So let's go here. And what we can do is copy and paste this nav link. Okay, and I'm going to call this cart. All right, and I'm going to go to their right here. And so how to show a cart button, all they want you to do is just add a class name of Snipcart Checkout. So I'm going to copy that class name, go to my Webflow project, and add a combo class to this one, Snipcart Checkout. And that's it. I've added the cart feature. That easy. So I'm going to publish, refresh the page in what? Interesting. There it is, cart. Click on cart, and there we go. Just by adding a class name, I have a cart. All right, let's take this even further. Let's show how many things and how much my items in my basket are going to cost. And how to do that is right here. You can show the number of items and how much it costs. So I can just copy this class name, go to Webflow and let's add a, let's add, let's see here. Yeah, let's add a pipe and just say 0, and then another pipe, and then I'll just add another 0. Okay, so for this first 0, I'm going to wrap it in a span, and then give this span a class name of snipcart item count. Okay, and then for the total price, I'm going to copy that class name and wrap this in a span and give that the class name. All right, so we have total price for that number and items count for that number. I'm going to publish, refresh, and there we go. I have my cart with 0 items in there. Let's go ahead and add a mug. Continue shopping. And there we go. I have my cart with 1 item, and my cart is worth $10. That easy. Just adding class names, right? And as always, you can style this however you want inside of Webflow, but I think that's pretty cool. Like, I can add another thing and go back to shopping, and now my cart has been updated. All right, so a very low code way. I've just added a class name. All right, so that's pretty cool, adding the cart summary. And now last thing I want to show you that's really cool is a simple link where people can go to their customer dashboard so they can see their order history. Okay, so all you have to do is add a class name. So let's go ahead and go into my project. I'm going to copy and paste one of the nav links, and I'm going to push that over to the end. So I'm going to push this over all the way here. Right there. I'm going to replace the name, the word contact with my account. Go back to the Snipcart documentation. Copy this class name, Snipcart customer sign in. Paste that in there as a combo class. Publish. And I'm done. That's it. So I can refresh my account, and there we go. That's it. Pretty cool. Okay, so that's Snipcart and how to integrate Snipcart into your Webflow project so you don't have to use the Webflow e-commerce feature. All right. Two things to note that I haven't really touched on yet. So again, the pricing on Snipcart is to develop on it. It's free forever. All right. So forever free test development. It's kind of like Webflow, how you get a starter account and you can play around with Webflow for free. So you can, kick around the tires, see if it works in your workflow. And same thing with Snipcart. All right. The only time you start paying is when you have to pay for the 2% transactions, when you're actually selling real products, not in a test environment, but actually live. And what I mean by that is when you go to your dashboard, you have 2 modes. You have your test and then you have your live. So once you go live, then that's when you're going to start selling stuff for real, and you're going to pay that 2% transaction fee. Plus, on this dashboard, which is really, really nice, is you also get to see what orders that come in, any subscriptions that you're selling. So yeah, they do subscription-based products. You can see what carts have been abandoned. You can do recovery campaigns. Get those people who abandoned their carts and be like, "Yo, are you still interested?" You've probably got some of those Amazon emails when you leave something in your cart. They're like, "Hey, you still gonna buy this?" So you can do that kind of stuff. You can see what customers are in your that have signed up using the the sign in register feature, create discounts, and even sell digital goods. So yeah, Snipcart, try it out. let me know in the comments how you feel about this tutorial, how you feel about Snipcart. Have you already tried Snipcart? Is Snipcart already in your Webflow project? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. But thanks again to the Snipcart team for sponsoring our very first YouTube sponsored tutorial. And thank you for watching. And as always, make the web beautiful together. See ya.